Hello everyone. In this video, we will recommend the top 10 best TV series to watch of 2023. So, let's get started the list. Number 1. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Director, David Zabel. The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon is another spin-off of The Walking Dead. This time, the plot revolves around Daryl Dixon and Carol Pelletier, the only two characters who have been part of the franchise since Season 1. In the series, the protagonist of the dystopia arrives in France to try to start over, but he faces many challenges trying to understand what took him there and how he will return to the Commonwealth. Meanwhile, he discovers not only that he has more enemies than he realizes but also a new rescue mission that could save humanity. Number 2. The Walking Dead, Dead City. Director, Eli Jorn. Maggie and Negan travel to a post-apocalyptic Manhattan, cut off from the mainland, in search of Maggie's kidnapped son Herschel. The island has been isolated since the return of the dead and has developed its own unique threats. In the city, Maggie and Negan meet native New Yorkers, evade a lawman with a troubled past, and hunt down a notorious killer. But as the pair venture further into the gritty depths of the undead-infested city, it becomes clear that the traumas of their tumultuous past pose just as much of a threat as the dangers of the present. Number 3. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Director, Rick Riordan. Percy Jackson is on a dangerous quest, outrunning monsters and outwitting gods. He must journey across America to return Zeus' Master Bolt and stop an all-out war. After losing his mother, Percy is sheltered at Camp Half-Blood, a sanctuary for demigod children. He must prove himself and confront his origins once he discovers he too is a demigod, and will take off into the perils of pursuing enemies in search of the underworld. With the help of his questmates Annabeth and Grover, Percy's journey will lead him closer to the answers he seeks. Number 4. Twisted Metal. Director, David Jaffe. Based on the video game of the same name, Twisted Metal follows John Doe, a driver hired to do a difficult job delivering a valuable object across a post-apocalyptic United States. Suspicious at first, he ends up accepting the job hoping to earn enough money to completely change his life. But soon, he will discover that many people are after the object and making this delivery will be a more complicated task than he expected. Number 5. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Director, Chris Black. A massive battle between Godzilla and the Titans has razed San Francisco to the ground. After the shocking revelation that monsters are real, two children set out to follow in their father's footsteps to discover their family's connection to the mysterious organization Monarch. Clues lead them into the world of monsters and eventually down the rabbit hole to Army Officer Lee Shaw. He first came into contact with Monarch in the 1950s. Half a century later, what Shaw knows threatens the Japanese-American institution. Number 6. Special Ops, Lioness. Director, Taylor Sheridan. Inspired by an actual U.S. military program, follows the life of Jo, while she attempts to balance her personal and professional life as the tip of the CIA's spear in the War on Terror. The Lioness program, overseen by Caitlin Meade and Donald Westfield, enlists an aggressive Marine raider named Cruz to operate undercover alongside Jo among the power brokers of state terrorism in the CIA's efforts to thwart the next 9/11. Number 7. Pokerface. Director, Ryan Johnson. A Mystery of the Week series following Charlie Cale, who has an extraordinary ability to determine when someone is lying. She hits the road in her Plymouth Barracuda and with every stop encounters a new cast of characters and strange crimes she can't help but solve. Guest stars are plentiful throughout. An inverted detective series, also known as a Howcatchem and popularized by Columbo. The crime and perpetrator are shown at the beginning of each episode, and follows Charlie as she tries to solve the mystery. Number 8. Ahoka. Director, Dave Filoni. After the fall of the Empire, Anakin Skywalker's former Jedi student, Ahsoka Tano, sets off into the depths of space to locate the dangerous Imperial commander Thrawn, who, together with rebel and young Jedi Ezra Bridger, disappeared into hyperspace some time ago. Ahsoka is supported by her Mandalorian friend Sabine Wren and Ezra's former captain Hera Syndulla, while Shin Hai, who is on the dark side of the Force, is on behalf of the ex-Jedi and Thrawn ally Baylan Skoll hunts down Ahsoka and her comrades in arms. Number 9. Silo. Director, Graham Yost. In a dystopian future, humanity is forced to live in huge silos deep underground. Life in the complex is difficult because those in power rule with an iron hand. Anyone who rebels against authority or asks too many questions will face deadly consequences. Young engineer, Juliet, can no longer submit to the regime as she makes discoveries that challenge everything she knows about the outside world. What if the oppressive rules don't actually serve security? Juliet penetrates deeper and deeper into the secret passages of the silo and uncovers secrets that could change people's future. Number 10. The Last of Us. Director, Neil Druckmann. Almost all of humanity is killed by a mysterious fungus. 20 years later, the cities are neglected, brutal looters roam and infected people who have transformed into bloodthirsty zombie-like creatures roam everywhere. In the midst of this post-apocalyptic scenario, the tough Texan Joel and the young Ellie pull together to complete the journey to the Fireflies, which takes them across the devastated USA. The resistance group is working on a cure for the catastrophe that has struck humanity, and Ellie seems to hold the key to it. But the path to the goal is paved with countless deadly dangers that demand the utmost from the duo.